What a pleasure it is to meet you once again on this weekly platform, Crime Watch, a program brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to inform you of our roles and operations. My name is Tendekai Dandaratsi. It's good to have you along. We begin today's program by looking at the worrying trend of armed robbery cases, where robbers are attacking unsuspecting victims and willy-nilly shooting at their targets by using firearms before getting away with cash and valuables.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police has bust a notorious armed robbery gang who went on a rampage committing a spate of armed robberies across the country during the period extending from 18 July 2018 until their arrest on the 30th of January 2019 and 11 February 2019. The accused persons were moving around as a syndicate of up to 15 people, and they would scale the security walls of premises and pounce on unsuspecting occupants. They would then threaten and in some circumstances shoot at their victims and detain them at gunpoint while ransacking residential business properties of the victims. In Chegutu, the robbers were so daring to the extent of kidnapping and robbing police officers who had attended the scene at a company and engaged in an exchange of fire with the officers. On 11 February 2019, at about 2200 hours, at the 75-kilometer peg along Bulawayo-Beitbridge Road, 5 armed robbers robbed a Brooklyn bus which was on its way to Beitbridge with cross-border traders and got away with 16,300 bond notes, over 198,000 rands, $525 cash and other valuable, including cell phones.
The ZRP has recorded such disturbing cases along Masvingo-Beitbridge Highway, Harare-Chirundo Highway, and lately, Crime Watch caught up with the victims of the Bulawayo-Beitbridge Highway robbery in Gwanda.
Ngizwazaphela nje ngacabangela lutho 10 ngathi ngabona kumhlamvu from front ngale kuthiwa wonke umuntu kalale phansi ngesisu driver uthathe kancane wazama ukuthi ngayi bamkhulela wagcina la sebalandela walala phansi ngesisu baqala ukusearcha one by one omama lawa bebasearcha amavele la bengakhethi ukuthi umama ngiyedwa
mina ngizibuleti phela ngoba ade ngicabanga ithaya so kwasokuhlaba umkhosi omnyama ngasuka umuntu uthi mama ungaphambanisa udrive uhlaba umkhosi wathi wani fusa wena fusa kutala phansi ayishwa lapha ngesithindi sombhobho vele ngathi kwaba kumnyama emehlweni wathi back seat ngafika back seat ngathi ngale ngiwele khona ngikwazi ukuthi uhambe njani lapha bese ngibezwa ukuphela bethethisa abantu babona bebathathela izimali kwabecele omnye wabuya kimi wathi ayish kanti wena sebekwenzeni nathi abanjaya ngesithindi sombhobho athi amajida lawa khanya uyanizwela ngikwazi ukubenzela.
My appeal to members of the public is, if you are going to buy some property in Musina or in South Africa or in neighboring countries, please do not divulge to your neighbors or friends, because this attracts the armed robbers. If they know that you are going to buy large items, they know that you are carrying large sums of money. Also, I'm appealing to bus companies who have got a tendency to book passengers who are going across the border to make sure that they verify identification particulars and ensure that those particulars really belong to the concerned individuals who are booking. Because in this case, these were passengers who boarded the bus in Bulawayo, and midway through the journey, they turned robbers.
Police are making follow-ups on these cases, and recently they nabbed some of these highway armed robbers.
The station arrested Jabson Shone, aged 39 years, Samuel Moyo, aged 29 years, and Freddy Chibwana, aged 28 years, who were perpetrating robberies along highways that leads out of the countries. These were arraigned before the courts, being charged for 23 counts of armed robbery and they were sentenced as follows. Jabson Shone was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment. Fred Jinotri Chibwana was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment, and Samuel Moyo was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment, having a combined jail term of 50 years.
Apart from highway robberies, there's also been a spate of armed robbery cases across the country where a 15-member gang of armed robbers has been on a rampage, robbing companies and residents of their property and cash. One of these robbery cases occurred in Chegutu.
Talking of dangerous criminals which are roaming around operating with weapons, we have got a very nasty incident whereby foreigners were attacked by 15 robbers. Out of the 15 robbers, 8 of them were armed. Some were armed with AK rifles, 303 rifles, pangas. CID reacted quickly through information which was sent by a neighbor who had witnessed it happening. Before they arrived, the robbers spotted the CID members, pounced on the CID guys. And when the CID details were overwhelmed by the situation, 2 were captured and one of them managed to jump from the vehicle, running away with his AK folding. But the robbers took 5,000 US cell phones, clothes, drove off and went away towards the right direction.
After thorough investigations by the police, CID Homicide Harare has accounted for 11 of these marauding criminals, some of which were arrested after a shootout.
These people were using high-powered vehicles, which were hired from reputable car hire companies. They could be armed with the various forms of firearms. For example, I have this one. This is a 303 rifle, which was being used by these armed criminals. This is also another type of firearm, which was being used by these armed criminals. These 2, we call them pistols. They were being used by the same group of armed men. They also used some explosives, like these ones. They used these explosives to blast safes to access cash. Of note, we have a case which occurred in Westgate, whereby 7 armed men approached the complainants, threatened them with the firearms and stole some cash and went away. We also have a case which occurred in Chegutu, whereby 15 armed men stole a lot of property, including a car from that company. I want to announce to the nation that so far as the ZRP, we've managed to account for 11 of these armed men. Some of them were arrested in Epworth, some were arrested in Chinoy, and some were arrested in Norton. We've managed to recover all these firearms from these armed criminals. We want to assure members of the public, as Zimbabwe Public Police, that those who are still outstanding, we will arrest them. We want you to continue giving us information. We can assist us in apprehending these dangerous criminals. We also want to urge members of the public, especially companies, to vet their employees before engaging them for whatever type of employment. We also want to encourage them not to keep large sums of money within their premises. We also want to urge them not to have a systematic banking, whereby it is known by every employee within the company that money is banked at such a date at this company. We also want to urge members of the public that if they are approached by these armed criminals, they are not supposed to resist. These men can use whatever means to achieve their goals. Even if it means killing somebody, they can kill. So we don't want to lose valuable lives. We urge them not to fight back. They just give in and report to the police after the incident.
Crime Watch takes a short break. Join us shortly. We are in the second segment of Crime Watch, and thank you for staying with us. The story of Matches, also known as Mabemba, is the talk of most mining towns, and Kadoma is not spared. These machete-wielding criminals have on several occasions committed murder and serious assault cases using these weapons.
There are various gold deposits within our area, where gold panners from as far as Gokwe, Shurugwi, and Chinoi, they converge here, looking for the gold deposits. Now, there are some fights which break up when these people meet. And as a result, we've got some cases of assaults which sometimes tends to attempted murder. There are cases of sudden death where these miners sometimes they use explosives and they do not have enough knowledge in as far as how these explosives are used. And they are usually trapped when these explosives explode, when these people they are still inside the mines. Of late, we had a gang of gold panners who were terrorizing people at Glasgow, and we have managed to account for them. And they appeared at Kaduma Magistrates Court, and they were remanded in custody pending sentencing. And this had been a major arrest, since these people had been wreaking havoc as far as November 2018. We dispatched some patrols in areas like Pingo. We accounted for 6 wanted persons who were using matches to assault other people within our area. We also managed to break about 16 cases which were pending. And we believe these arrests, and with the support that we are also getting from our local courts, will be able to contain the crime.
These violent crimes often spill into the suburbs of Kadoma town.
When these gold panners get the proceeds of the gold they pan around Kadoma, they come to Rimuka now. That's where they come and spend their money drinking beer and so on. Gold panners have a tendency of carrying weapons. Most of them, they travel around with matches. They also move around with knives. So whenever you meet a gold panner, if you search him, you are likely to get one of those weapons with them. Then we've put in place some measures to arrest them. One of them being, we intensify the patrols, particularly at these beer outlets areas. So you would find that if you get into Kadoma during odd hours, it's always likely that you will meet some police officers on patrol. We also have a prohibition order which makes it illegal for anyone to move around with an axe, with a knife, with a machete, or with these dangerous weapons. So, armed with this prohibition order, we do some stop and searches. So, if we just arrest someone with a machete, we take him to the police station, we charge him.
The police is sending a message to those intending to go into mining.
Nekuda kwenjodzi dziri kusanganikwa nadzo dzinosanganisira masudden death, tinopa chenjedzo yekuti izvoni vasaende vachindochera mumigodhi isingashandiswi. Imwe kurudziro yandinokurudzira kune vanhu vanoita zvokukorokosa ndeyekuti izvoni vasasevenzesa zvinoputika kana vachinge vapinda mumigodhi yakasiyiwa iyoyo. Saka naizvozvo tinokurudzira kuti kana muchida kuita zvemigodhi munge mine mapepa akakwana ekuita zvinotendedzwa pamutemo kuti munhu aite maini yake.
Police are intensifying efforts to re-engage and reconnect with school learners to conscientize them on crime issues. Recently, police in Chitungwiza teamed up with other stakeholders to address learners at Zengeza 3 High School on sexual offences and other crimes.
Imimi vana vazhinji vari kubatwa vari kuitwa zvekurepwa chaizvo zvekumbunyikidzwa. Vazhinji vacho vari kurepwa nemunhu wavanoziva. Vazhinji vacho vari vehukama. Zvoreva kuti kana muri kumba chero pauri chero kuchikoro chero kuchechi chero kupi unogona kusangana dambudziko rekuita sei. Zvareva kuti ndofanira kugara ndakangwarira, muri kuzvinzwa, nekuti munhu wese anogona kuita bhinya.
Tataura zvizhinji pamusoro pekuti dai vakagona kukoshesa zvavari ivo kuti vagone kukura vari vana vakanaka nokuti ndivo vatungamiri vamangwana. Hatidi kuti vashandiswe nevakuru mukupara mhosva.
Still on campaigns, police in Matebeleland North Province have unearthed sexual abuse cases that were perpetrated against hearing and speech impaired learners. The offense came to light following a sexual abuse awareness campaign that was held at the school.
How this case came to light was after we conducted an assembly and we talked about the forms of abuses that children may be subjected to, and we told them to open up and confide with the head or any other teacher. And after 2 weeks of the lesson, 4 children walked into my office. I sat down and made some signs that there was some forms of abuses that were taking place on them. We interviewed the children where they talked about various forms of abuses ranging from sexual and the fondling of breasts that was taking place to them. We reported the matter to police station.
The accused person is their class teacher, so he took advantage that they are deaf and dumb, and they only talk to him as their class teacher, as they don't have a chance to socialize with other teachers, as they are not specialists in sign language.
We've been doing the investigations with the police officers, so we know that people take advantage of the deaf learners because they know that most of them don't communicate well with the outside world. Now that the investigation has been done, we hope the court will do justice to the perpetrator.
Sexual abuse is real. As such, parents and guardians should continue monitoring their children and take note of their change in behavior or mood. Anything suspicious should be brought to the attention of the police. We take a short break. Stay tuned. Crime Watch welcomes you to the third and final segment, and thank you for staying with us. In this segment, we start by revisiting the disturbances that rocked our nation last month and left a trail of destruction to many police stations. ZRP Rimuka in Kadoma was under attack. However, police managed to defuse the situation.
Takazungushamisika tichinzwa ruzha rwevanhu ruchibva nechekumagurusoko vachiimba. Vamwe vakanga kudaidzira kuti mapurisa ngaarohwe, vanhu vajaira. Handei tinopaza ZANU-PF office nepolice station. Vaya vakabata matombo, ndopakwaita tuvana tukanga turi kumberi vakapenda kufesi nehupfu nevanhu vakuru vanga vari kumashure. Ndokuchuya vachiimba, vamwe vakanga vaine rekeni vachiregedzera rekeni. Ndokupaza ZANU-PF office apo vachibva vakanda, ndofunga chipetrol bomb because takazoona pakubvira pakanzuru pa next door pedapo takaona fenzi yadonha yapasi. Mabillboards ese murodhi umu anotaura kuti give away stop sign hamuna, vakakwachura kwachura. Papolisi matombo akapotserwa, mamwe achakatema mahwindo epagadroom. Takatokatyamadzawo kuti asati tambozvana zvichiitika munzvimbo yedu. Yaitwa ngehondo chaiyo musi wachona iwoyo, ende zvakanga zvichitotyisa.
At Machipisa shopping center in Rimuka, protesters broke windows and looted from shops. We spoke to some of those who were affected.
Tikata malosses akakura ende zvine zvinorwadza nekuti capital yatatina yanga iri shomanyana, saka magudzi akatorwa akawanda zvaitosvika kuma 80 to 84,000.
Pakavharwa apa pavakabva vatema nematombo vapinda kudaro vakakwanisa kutora zvinhu zvese zvazvirimo, vatora vasiya vaputsa mafiriji ese magirazi ese kutowarira pasi, vavatora small scale negenerator nefoni nenyama yese izvibva vazvipusha zvaenda kubanze, vaida kubudisa chipanze kuenda nawo.
Some of the ringleaders have been arrested and brought before the courts.
So we managed to arrest 27 suspects whom we picked, and of the 27 there was one notorious criminal known by the name Chukature that had looted the shops and we recovered some of the property. And I'm happy to pronounce that as he was remanded in custody, he was also indicted for another murder case which he committed in 2017. And as we speak, those who are arrested were all remanded in custody, and their trials are at various stages. We continue to monitor the situation from that day up to date.
In other towns, victims of these illegal protests relived the water attacks.
Tikazama kuti tistope vanhu but tikakundikana vakatipwanyira vakatora zvavakatora mafoni maudhop nemaTVs kuva zvikangofana nesu munharaunda tona takatogara mustrida so takutotambuka yatine nhamo yavatisira mudzei.
This is where most destruction was inflicted by the violence of the 14th to 16th of January 2019. It was looted empty, as big as it is. All windows shattered, property stolen, and everything is deserted at this complex.
Now, when you robot linje, kuyinto enganceda wonke umuntu ohambayo odrivayo. Umuntu ebese kamuli robot bese lichisa. Ama-robot lawa anceda abantwana bethu, anceda thina sidrive izimota zethu ukuthi singatshayisani. Nxa sokunje kungathiwa yikuyini kuyamangalisa into enje sasingakaze sibone into enje lapha kuBulawayo.
We continue to engage members of the public in fighting against such crimes through committing ourselves to the letter and spirit of the ZRP's Client Service Charter. ZRP Harare Central District reaffirmed itself to offering quality services that meets the expectations of the public at a police client service charter relaunch in Marimba.
The Client Service Charter is an undertaking by us, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to fully commit ourselves to providing the community with the most effective and efficient service. It is in this vein that as a Harare Central District, we have set ourselves some standards of performance which we want to give as guidelines on the minimum level of service which the community should expect from us. As Harare Central District, we promise to re-energize our systems and operations so that we remain above the crime situation in our area.
Harare Central District Crime Consultative Committee has purchased motorcycles to assist the police to attend scenes of crime. The motorbikes were recently handed to the police on the sidelines of the district's client service charter relaunch.
Harare Central District Crime Consultative Committee spearheaded a fundraising golf tournament in November 2018. Proceeds from the tournament were used to purchase 2 motorcycles which shall be handed over to the police today. The motorcycles shall be used for patrols and scene attendance. Isn't that apparent?
We commend the good work by different structures of our community policing initiatives in working towards the eradication of crime, and you can also take part in any of our schemes such as Crime Consultative Committee, Business Against Crime Forum of Zimbabwe, Neighborhood Watch Committee, and the Junior Corps, among others. This brings us to the end of today's episode of Crime Watch. It has been a pleasure having you along. From me, Tendekai Dandaratsi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.